Hi YouTube. I'm sure everyone has heard of the Mugabe effect. I know, you thought it was called the Mandella effect, but that's just an incorrect memory caused by a reality shift. Speaking of reality shifts, you're about to experience one, because in this reality, Jeran of Jeranism makes logical, well-reasoned arguments that you will agree with. In this clip, Jeran is joined by Brian Stavely, a guy who takes the Archbishop Desmond Tutu effect very seriously. You will also hear the voices of Globebusters Bob, Karen B and Rodrigo Nunes, and enjoy some examples of the Idi Amein Effect.
None of these things could ever be proven in this reality then if they've changed? Or the only way we have to prove
that's not true, because there's residue. There is so much leftover evidence. Like, for instance, all these songs that change, right? So like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, for instance, the song Under the Bridge, they say it's the city I live in, the city of angels, because they're singing about Los Angeles. That song doesn't say City of Angels anymore. It says City of Angel. Anybody that's ever parodied it says City of Angels. So, and here's the thing. So people, if you go and it's not about the media changed or the song got re-released. You could pull out your own version of Red Hot Chili Peppers, hard copy, CD, record, tape. You put it in. He's going to say City of Angel. And then everybody will say, oh, you're just misremembering. It's always been that way. Well, I can show you 2 live performances, because for some reason, even though all the official music would change, when these people sing live performances, you will catch them in 1 or 2 live shows, and they will sing the lyrics the way that we all remember. So the people that wrote the songs misremembered. I mean, why would it be the City of Angel? It was definitely the City of Angels. I think it's part the collective consciousness, and I think it's part signs from the Creator to get us to notice certain things like the ridiculous changes in people's Bibles that has nothing to do with reissuing and different versions of the Bible before anybody goes there. We can get into that, though, after, or whenever.
Yeah,
but rather than change important things, if it's God doing it to point things out, why would the Monopoly guy be changed?
Exactly. So why would the Monopoly guy be changed? Well, the thing is, it's not just the Monopoly guy. That's what the media wants you to think. It's the Monopoly guy. You're mixing it up with the Plantis Peanut guy. It's the Berenstein Bears. Those are just the surface level changes to get to resonate with people that some people like us might use. I don't ever talk about that. We'll talk about the history. We'll talk about the Bible. The lion and the lamb. I mean, Isaiah 11:6, you ask anybody what animal lies with the lamb. It's the lion. Well, now it's been changed to the wolf. Is that a sign from the Creator? Like, hey, the wolf's in the house. You know what I mean? And the thing with that is, so when we would point that out and people would say, well, that's just in the King James, because it was at first, right? So then they would come with, it's a translation issue, Greek to Hebrew, this, that, and the other, because what they would do is they would use all the other versions of the Bible against us because they still said lion and the lamb. So they told us King James was an error. Then periodically, over the last 3 years, that has incrementally seeped into every Bible that everybody here has. If you want to debunk me, pull out your hard copy to Isaiah 11:6 and show us how your Bible still says the lion shall dwell with the lamb. It's not in there anymore. It's changed incrementally in front of us. But there's so many examples. Like in The Wizard of Oz now, the scarecrow has a gun. And then I show my friend, and I'm explaining to him the Mandela effect. He's like, well, I have the movie. He's like, so if we put in The Wizard of Oz right now, He's going to have a gun. I said, dude, go get it. He put it in. The scarecrow had a gun. And then several months later, after we had already watched the movie for changes, the Tin Man has a giant wrench now. The phrase fly, my pretties fly no longer exists. She just says fly, fly, fly. These movies are incrementally changing in front of us. And then there's other things that we all know, like Judge Judy. She had a gavel. She don't have a gavel anymore. Never has. And this is on your hard copies. So this doesn't matter if things were re-released. Statues on Easter Island, a lot of them have hats now. Michelangelo's Moses, yes. Easter Island statues have hats now. King Henry no longer has a turkey leg in his drawing. And I mean, how many examples of all these things changing? Are we going to accept as a coincidence or a mismemory, or somebody led us a certain way with the parody? It's time and time and time again.
Because I know what our memories are built off. Our memories are built off past experiences, past conversations, past commercials, past video. So the person who wrote the Ace Ventura movie had the exact same memory we all did of the Monopoly guy having the monocle.
And you don't think there's other screenwriters that would be like, hey, what are we doing here with this movie? We're paying all these actors to come on. We're going to film this. And
no, because everybody, that's what I'm saying. Everybody has the same memory.
Manager to
art director to say, "Well, this looks much better in this monocle."
It doesn't even
or
take
somebody
that.
to
It doesn't
create
take
a parody.
that. All it is everybody remembers that. Everybody remembers that. So you write it in there, and then guess what? Everybody who read that script, it becomes part of their memory. That the Monopoly guy, of course, had a monocle. That's what this person wrote in the script. Why would he write that if it's not the memory? So you build from there. Now, everybody who's watched Ace Ventura, that's been added to their memory. So before you know it, you've got a whole world of people, or a whole, if you want to say United States, if you want to say people who watch movies, everybody's got this memory built in. But when you go back and look at the actual boxes of the Monopoly game, he doesn't have a monocle. So I have two choices of what to believe. One, the one that makes sense to me, that everybody remembers it wrong. Or two, that cardboard boxes are changing in reality. And if you think I'm going to believe that, I've got another thing to tell you.
Doesn't really sound crazy than saying the Earth was flat 5 years ago, does it?
That cardboard boxes are changing? Yes.
But that's
Sorry.
quite
Far,
different. Though. It's
far
quite different because
crazier.
we can unravel the whole deception of
I
how
can
they snared us into the ball.
I've done all the research into the deception. I've seen it from the time as far back as you can go, how they've managed that deception. But I have not seen anything that tells me cardboard boxes in antique shops change the faces of cartoon characters.
Have you seen the video of the cars that have those extreme bass systems in it, and the car, like the door is vibrating and it looks like liquid, like the glass?
Sound.
We saw that. Remember, we showed it on the show.
Right. So that's sound vibrating and changing the way that you think that particular matter should behave, right? Like,
right, because we know that the sound is there. We know that the sound is there. We can.
Sound's physical.
The sound is physical. We can measure it. So where's the sound right now? Where's the sound that's causing my desk to stay here?
Right, but sound is still somewhere on the electromagnetic spectrum. It's just that frequency that you can feel it and hear it. But there's things that you can't see and hear and feel, right?
Sure.
And
I agree with that, but
really
I don't think
understand what the effects of those things are, because the electromagnetic spectrum that we all are familiar with is like 1/10 of 1/10 millionth or something of the actual electromagnetic spectrum. So we don't even really understand it. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I understand it. I'm saying we don't understand it, and looking at this stuff is just sort of us trying to understand it.
No, I get that, and I'm certainly somebody, which is weird, because a lot of things that I research and stuff, nothing scares me. There's nothing that scares me about anything I research. The Mandela effect, in a small way, scares me, because if that is true, then really I don't even feel like everything gets thrown out. Like, if that's the case, then why do any research on anything? If anything can change at any point, then what good does it do to learn about something?